All right, my friends, welcome and welcome back. I'm here with a message today about being bold, and I was journaling and all of a sudden it just came in so quickly. Like, my writing is so scribbly because I had to catch it while it was hot. But yeah, I kept hearing this morning while I was out on my walk, I kept hearing fortune favors the bold over and over again. Fortune favors the bold. And when I get a message that's that clear, I know that there's more coming behind it. So I had to come in and just write. And so today we're going to take a little bit of a different approach because this was very much a written channel, written message. So I am going to read it from my book. And I've also got some quotes that I want to share. But I feel like in light of this Taurus new moon that we're in, the energetics of what's happening, and just what I know is going on in my own life and that of the people around me, this will be a timely message. Okay? So fortune favors the bold. Taking risks and getting out of your comfort zone will lead to adventure and growth. But it is not an easy path. You will encounter much opposition and many trials, but through each trial you will learn, and with every applied lesson you will up-level. With every new level of embodiment, you will have new tools with which to overcome every obstacle that you encounter. You will become unstoppable. But boldness equals courage. And courage doesn't need to be boisterous. Indeed, the deepest levels of courage are forged in the quiet moments when it is just you and your mind. Courage is overcoming the comfort of the familiar and the fear of the unknown to take bold steps into uncharted territory where the outcome is mysterious. Maya Angelou once said that courage is the most important of all virtues because without courage, you can't practice any other virtue consistently. And this makes a lot of sense. Let's look at some of the virtues, okay? You can't gain wisdom without the courage to challenge your beliefs. You can't be truly honest without the courage to face unpleasant reactions to your honesty. You can't be truly kind without the courage to be vulnerable. You can't be patient without the courage to surrender control. And this is what boldness is: the courage to face the unknown, the courage to take risks, the courage to live life against the grain. Boldness isn't always loud. Sometimes it is quiet and stoic and grounded. I feel like a lot of the time it is quiet and stoic and grounded. And you know, my friend, your entire life is a hero's journey. My partner's mother used to say something that I carry with me throughout the days. And she used to say that life is always going to be challenging. So if you can go into your day expecting life to be hard, you'll be able to overcome almost anything. And if life wasn't hard that day, then that's a bonus. I'm just going to go back to that first paragraph just for a second to reiterate what Mary used to say. You will encounter much opposition and many trials, but through each trial you will learn. With every applied lesson, you will up-level. With every new level of embodiment, you will have new tools with which to overcome every obstacle that you encounter. You will become unstoppable. Now, when the part about the hero's journey came up, it got me into a little bit of a researching rabbit hole. And actually, Grammarly.com outlines the hero's journey as it relates to storytelling, but it has so many parallels to our lives. So I want to just go through, they've got 12 steps on the hero's journey. I'm just going to go blast through them quickly, but I bet you can see a lot of parallels between this storytelling structure and our lives as human beings. Okay, so the first step is the call to adventure. This is the moment when the hero receives a call to adventure, which could come in the form of a message, a dream, or an encounter with a mentor or a guide. The second step is the refusal of the call. How many times have we been through this? At this stage, the hero may initially refuse the call to adventure, often due to fear, doubt, or a sense of inadequacy. The third step is meeting the mentor. The hero encounters a mentor or guide who provides support, advice, and guidance on the journey ahead. Step 4 is crossing the threshold. The hero leaves behind the known world and crosses the threshold into the unknown, often encountering tests, trials, and challenges along the way. Number 5 is tests, allies, and enemies. The hero must navigate a series of tests, trials, and challenges, often with the help of allies and the opposition of enemies. Number 6 is the approach to the inmost cave. The hero approaches the innermost cave or the heart of darkness, often facing their greatest fears and challenges. Number 7 is the ordeal. This is the moment of the hero's greatest challenge, where they face a major obstacle or enemy and must overcome it to continue their journey. Number 8 is the reward. The hero achieves a reward, often in the form of knowledge, insight, or a powerful object that helps them on their journey. Number 9 is the road back. The hero begins the journey back, often encountering new challenges and obstacles along the way. Number 10 is the resurrection. The hero experiences a moment of death and rebirth, often symbolized by a physical or metaphorical transformation. Number 11 is the return. The hero returns home, transformed and changed by their experiences, armed with new knowledge and insights that they can use to benefit their community. Number 12 is the freedom to live. The hero achieves a state of freedom and enlightenment, often living happily ever after or in a state of balance and harmony. So those are the 12 steps of the hero's journey that's outlined on Grammarly, and this is for a story, one book. And I feel like our lives consist of many chapters, many books. So we go through these steps of the hero's journey many times, and we get to this point of freedom and enlightenment, and we have points in our lives where everything's going swimmingly. And then we start the whole process over again. And I bet if you look back on your life, you can see distinct chapters, distinct books where you went through all of these 12 steps and came through the trials and tribulations into a point where things kind of went, okay, it's okay for a little while. And then we go back. It's like, I know for myself, I look back on my life and there are very distinct sections of my experience where I went through this entire process and then I came out a different person. And if you watch back in my YouTube videos, there's like 8 years of content on there, but you will see, if you watch, just watch a few that are in sequence, go year to year, you'll see my energy is different, my face is different, the way I speak is different. And I feel like I've been many different people in this one lifetime, going through so many different experiences, challenges, adventures, trials, triumphs, you know? And that kind of brings it, I keep coming back to this first paragraph. Bear with me. Through each trial you will learn. With every applied lesson you will up-level. With every new level of embodiment, you will have new tools with which to overcome every obstacle that you encounter. I feel like if we approach life in this way, knowing that whatever is challenging us in the moment is teaching us new ways to be, new ways to communicate, new ways to approach life, new ways to make decisions. Every challenge is presenting us with a new learning. And, you know, sometimes that doesn't make it any easier to go through what we're going through in life. But I feel like that kind of a mindset can help you keep going and keep persisting in what's important. And fortune favors the bold because the bold are persistent. The bold are persistent in what's important to them. The bold are persistent in what they want to accomplish and achieve. The bold are persistent in continuing to learn and grow and expand their consciousness and expand their mind and challenge their beliefs and challenge their mindsets. The bold are persistent in mastering their life and mastering their mind, mastering their lived experience. And too many people give up at various stages of this hero's journey. You know, the refusal of the call. A lot of people will hear the call and refuse to answer that call, and that's kind of where they stay at for the rest of their lives. And no judgment, but this is just what I've observed. A lot of people will stop at the point where they refuse the call, and then that kind of, their lives will just level out from there, and that's where they will stay. A lot of people will give up as soon as they run into some tests and some challenges in life and see these tests and challenges as confirmation that they're not supposed to be on this journey, when in fact it's quite the opposite. Tests and challenges are confirmation that you're on the right path. Nothing that is worth doing or having in this life is going to come easy. We will have to overcome many obstacles. We will have to overcome opposition from outside of us, and we will also have to overcome opposition from within us, from our own mind, from our own fear. But if you're bold and persistent, you can overcome those obstacles. You can overcome that opposition from outside of you and from within you. And often, it's the opposition from within us that will stop us in our tracks. Some people will stop at the approach to the inmost cave. When they approach the innermost cave or the heart of darkness, often facing their greatest fears and challenges. This could also be a dark night of the soul. When you are brought to a place where you are face to face with all of your greatest fears and challenges, you're faced with all of the ways that you've been holding yourself back. You're faced with all of the ways that you've been sabotaging yourself. You're faced with all of the ways that you've been programmed along your lifeline to this point. And you're faced with all of these things that you know aren't in alignment, but it can feel so incredibly scary to change them. This is also a place where a lot of people will give up and give in under the pressure. Fortune favors the bold because the bold will venture further into that cave, venture into the darkness, knowing that the only light that they have is the light within them. They will sit in the darkness. They will face those fears. They will face those mental programs. They will face those things that have been holding them back. And they will overcome them. And then some people will give up at stage 7 at the ordeal, where it's the greatest challenge yet. If you're a gamer, I equate the ordeal to like a boss level. You know, when you get to the boss, you go through the whole level, and then at the end you get to the boss and you have to beat the boss, and it's the hardest one yet. You have to put to use all of the tools that you've learned along that level to use with the boss, and it's the hardest, longest fight ever. But when you beat that boss, it's so satisfying, because you know that you've taken all of the tools from the level leading up to that boss. You know that you have fought your hardest. You know you've put your everything into that fight, that battle. You know that you've put everything into overcoming that challenge. And when you finally do, it is so sweet. It is so sweet. It is hard AF. It is the hardest thing you have ever had to do up to that point. But when you do it and you overcome it, that is the best reward ever. There's no amount of money or material, anything, that can top that feeling of overcoming your challenges, overcoming something that used to plague you and take you out. When you finally overcome that, that is like the sweetest feeling ever. Big shout out to August Rains for being on this journey with me. We've been talking about this message of being bold for a couple of days, and this is for all of us. I know I went on a tangent there, but this hero's journey, this life that is yours here to live, is so sacred, and I just don't want anyone to give up. I want you to stay here. I want you to fight, because you are needed. You are needed here. And I want to encourage you to press on, to keep going, because it will be worth it. And fortune favors the bold, because the bold are persistent. And I'm going to leave you with one more quote here from Calvin Coolidge that's been also rattling around in my brain for the last couple of days. And he says, "Nothing in this world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. The slogan 'Press on' has solved and always will solve the problems of the human race. So press on, my friend. Fortune favors the bold. You're on a hero's journey. Remember that life will always have challenges. And if you have a day that you go through that was easy, that's a bonus. But be prepared for challenges. Face the day knowing that you will have obstacles to overcome, and know that you have everything within you to overcome them. Fear not. Walk in courage. Walk in your boldness. Walk in your persistence, and you will get through it. You will overcome it. You will come out on the other side. Sending you all tons of love. Please share this message with someone you think will resonate with it. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel, to the podcast, for your comments, your support. It means the world. Wishing you a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.